I'm back. Let's hope that this is going to save. The other one did. I can't believe that. You know, it's so gutting. It really is so gutting. When you go, you know, you work so, you know, you've done so much, you know, tutorial wise. Let's just pop that because that's going on the back. Tutorial wise, and then boom, it didn't work, and you're like, oh, frustration. Right, okay. So remember we had these bits in the middle where the magnets were, and I hadn't banked for that because we've made a frame, okay? So I'm going to hope this works and I can still actually get the picture within the frame. I would suggest before you put your frames around, okay, you should have done that at the end, but silly me, didn't bank on it. This wasn't a planned tutorial whatsoever. This really wasn't. It was an idea, and normally I go and do an idea and then come and show you after I've done it, and I didn't in this case, and it was a silly thing to do. So in hindsight, you would use, let's just make sure these are going to go right in, okay, because you're going to now need to really stick these down at the edge, right down, not so that your frame's gonna, not so that it's going to affect your frame. So I'm going right in just to cover these magnets up, but you don't want this sticking to your frame. So in hindsight, you would do that before, but to be honest with you, I think you missed that tutorial anyway, didn't you? Because it didn't save. So you know what, maybe I'll come back and show you how to do that again, because I should have put that down first. I should have done the edges. It's because we're doing this on our own, aren't we? We're doing this completely without having the side bit, so we're having to do extras. So that's why, because I'm doing the extras, putting on the side, you know, the side panels to go around the book. That's why I've gone ahead and rushed ahead instead of putting it down first. But I think you kind of get the picture that you would have done that before. So now it just makes it that little bit difficult, sorry, not different, to just put that in. So it is really important that you stick this down. I mean, we can go over that actually. Let's just get that down there. You just really don't want that sticking to your frame now. Do you see what I mean? Because we wanted to cover up those magnets. So you would do that first. So do that process first, then come and stick your frame on afterwards. Okay, so that's just sorted that out. So we've rectified that, and we're just going in, making sure that our frame is still okay. Okay, so you would have done that first, and we've stuck that down. Do you see what I mean? Because now we've got to get our, can we still do it? The moment of truth. I should have waited for it to dry, but yes, we can. And don't forget, I'm going to be putting, you know, tabs on the top. I'm not doing it yet. When I put my picture on, then I'll put my tabs onto the actual photo mat. It's like I said, if you have acetate on your frames, that will hold it in. I specifically haven't had acetate on my frames because, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't need to do a slot one. I could have just done it like this. But because I'm doing an old spell book, they wouldn't have had acetate frames. So I wanted to make it a little bit more authentic looking. But with your acetate over the top, see, you can now, you know, it would look much better visually. You know what I'm saying. Maybe I'll come back. I think I'm going to use this method again because I do like this method. It's nice. Right, so where are we? So now we're going to go ahead. Let's move our mats out the way. We do need that one, don't we? And bring them back in, slot them back in together. Now we just have to finish off this one, don't we? Because this is where we did the magnet closure, right? Should have had two of those. Where are we? We should have had two of those. So we're just going to close this off, you know, close it off again, because we need to cover up those magnets, and we just need to put one up on the back where we have put our, there we go, I'll just give that a nice blob of glue on the sides, just where we've put it on the back. So let's cover up the magnets, and then we'll get one on the back, and then we're ready to use our scoreboard to go down and just score it. And this is going to be the moment of truth to see if it actually does stick into the book, or whether we're going to struggle a bit because it's the side bits have just given us a bit too much bulk. So there we go. So we're just covering up, we're just covering up that bit, you know, where we've stuck our extension on the sides. So we're nearly there. I just want to see if this is going to fit, because then it's going to be pointless if you can't fit it in, right? It's going to be pointless. So here we go. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. And now it will be our scoring. Oh, I keep saying it, but what a nightmare. Imagine doing a whole tutorial. I mean, I'm sure it's happened to lots of people out there. I need to get a better, I'm using my phone. I just use my phone to do this. I have got nothing special set up. The stand I'm using is a microphone stand. It's really nothing special at all. So that we can get on the top. Right, so now let's bring in Mr. Scoreboard. Okay. And let's do this one at a time. Now, did we need one on that one? Yes, we did. That's right, because we're making one underneath. So let's just get our underneath one, because remember, we don't work in the book. Why not? So we're just going to turn that over, making sure it's all lined up nice and neat. And then we're taking our scorer and we're going to score. Ooh. Oh, what's going on there? Why are you not working? Come on, Mr. Scorer. What's happening there? Oh, I don't know what happened there. Oh, it's this rubbish paper again, isn't it? It's this rubbish paper, that's what it is. It's breaking, it's awful, it's so bad. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie me. Don't use rubbish paper. It's going to happen on all of these now, isn't it? Right, so let's stick this down. Right, learn lessons, do not use rubbish paper in future. This is such a lovely idea as well. It's such a shame it's gone horribly wrong. It's gone horribly wrong with non-saved tutorials and rubbish paper. Right, okay, now I'm just looking at this one. We've got one that way, haven't we? So let's go to the next one and let's pray. So we're going to pop that in there. And we're going to have to run this down this edge. This is where we're adding a little bit of bulk, aren't we? Well, that one's better. Let's just let that go over. That one's better, isn't it? We're just turning it over, sorry, and making sure that it is centralised. Important. I mean, I'm sure this is going to look lovely when it's finished, but listen, you get the idea, okay? That's the most important thing, that you get the idea of how it works. You know, if you're a new crafter and if there's anything you want to, you know, you want to say, oh, how did you do this or how did you do that? Just ask me in the comments, and let's just turn that way, or better that way. We're just going in, scoring as nearest, I'm saying get it really near to the edge. Really try and score it as near to the edge as possible. You possibly don't need this excess on here. is excess card. There's quite a lot of excess card here. But now let's just turn that over. We just, at every turn, making sure that is nice and neat, okay? Now for the finale. Now this is the one, I'm going to have to just have a look at this. Now I could have been better with my measuring, okay? I could have been much better. My measuring was not so great because I didn't measure, but you will, when I say didn't measure, what I mean is I didn't measure these parts, but you could probably measure those out a bit more so they're a bit more equal. Do you understand? Let's just have a look. Yes, I'm pretty much happy with that. So again, all down here and then glue on there, and then we're nearly done. We're nearly done. So we did get there in the end, but sorry about that, everyone. Let's just bring you out of the way now. Scoreboard. Sorry about that. That was so frustrating, wasn't it? It's really frustrating. And remember I said I'm keeping mine all black, right? So I'm just going to have a little bit just to bring that up just once. Oh, I could have put 2 bits there. It doesn't matter. You get the picture, right? Just gives it a little bit more of a lift. And it just looks so spooky. I'm just going to turn that way so I can just see. In fact, I'm going to bring it down. I'm sorry, I don't want you to see my head, but I'm just going to bring it down and just centralise that a bit. Ish. And then boom, we're nearly done. So I just wanted to really show you how this works and how lovely it looks and how great it looks on just plain card without having to use lots of different colours. And especially for this book, how good does this look? How authentic looking is this? The moment of truth is seeing if it's going to fit into the book. Right, so where are we? We're up the wrong way. Okay, so now you've got your flips. This is a bit wet, so we've just got to wait for it to dry. But you've now got your flips and your flaps. And that was using the swirly frames, you see? We've even got one here now. I'll have to actually back that at the back. I didn't think about that. I'd have to back it. But you can now obviously use these as frames. Is this the right way? It's the wrong way up. Let's get it the right way up. There we go. So once we get our tabs in, your photos will slide in and out of each of those. Again, at the top. Again, photos will slide out of those. If you have, I just push that in. If you have got acetate, is that the way we had it, or did we have it? Yes, we must have had it that way. That's right. Then that way and that way. So now, how lovely is that? Doesn't that look lovely? How spooky, but really sort of, it's like a traditional book, isn't it? Like a really old-fashioned, it just looks lovely. I love it. So let's just see. I'm not going to pop it in there. I just want to see if it fits without issues. And yes, it does, everyone. How lovely does that look? I'm loving that. And if you go into your page, your central page, you know, you could have one on this side. Where are we? It's going to fit perfectly, guys. You've got that lovely, you've got that 5mm, and it fits perfectly. So imagine having that. I mean, you probably couldn't have that. I'm just thinking for space-wise, obviously, because you've got quite a bit going on that page. So you probably couldn't have 2 of those in one page because it's quite high. You'd have to go flat on this page, but it does fit perfectly within the book. And it will look lovely. And imagine that. Let's not think, I mean, obviously I'm doing mine spooky Halloween-y, but let's imagine that in different colours, you know, gold, silvers, as a wedding book, as an anniversary book, as a christening, as not a baptism, a communion. This is beautiful. So I am pleased I did that, and just to show you, you know, it's all going to go together. Using these, you see, I am going completely black with this book. It's going to be completely black. But can you see, they all marry up really well with each other. These, I just think that's such a lovely, it's got a bit of glue all over it, but how beautiful does that look as a flip flap? And it just shows you that you can use all your dies, even if they're not flip flaps, to create flip flaps yourself. So apologies yet again that I unfortunately, I mean, I can't believe that the part of showing you how to add these on didn't save. But in hindsight, because I had to go in again, maybe I should do this tutorial yet again and do it better so that there's no mistakes through it, because I really wanted you to just see how lovely this twirly swirly frame looks when it is done as a flip flap. You know, it really is lovely, and you can do it, and you can get your photo mats. Oh, it's that way, isn't it? You can get your photo mats within the, oh, I have to do it like that, pull it out a bit, but you can get your photo mats within the book, and even within the flaps, and they will sit nice and neat within there. We'll get another page put there, and then you've got something you can write. But yes, so if you do want me to do this again, I am happy to do it. Drop it in the comments and I'll happily go through it. But I will start moving on now to how I was going to do this spell book originally, and that is by building up layers of frames, cutting these, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times, depends on what card you're using. If you're using a 300 GSM to build it up, you'd probably only need 3 to make a really thick frame, but 200 you might need double that amount to build it up. But that's what I'm going to do next, is build these frames up so they are, do you see, so that they go directly in the book, and it's a bigger frame, it's much thicker, it will come off, and then you can put again all your photos inside there. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in my next tutorial. Take care, bye.